Hey, what's going on, everyone? Okay, so this is a little random today. We decided to do this, like I said earlier, spirit cult, and it's our job to listen and deliver. So we're going to go ahead and do it in the order as to which we listed in terms of the reading order. All right, guys, so this is Kim. If anyone doesn't know who she is, the fantastic medium, Kim. She is actually she has a new store and things of that nature. You want to speak, Kim, about what's going on and what's new with you?
Can you hear me? All right. Hey guys, how are you? I would love to see this chat. I can't see the chat over to the side. Um, but I'm also a reader, like Mark said. I am a psychic medium. I pick up on messages intuitively. I normally clarify with my cards, but I've been taking a break from it. There's been a lot of heavy stuff going on my end, and when that happens, it kind of interrupts the flow of energy, making it really difficult for me to receive any messages. And so Mark has decided to go live with me tonight. So I can try to get back into the groove of things. So I can't guarantee that I'll even going to be able to connect, honestly. But I am optimistic. I'm open to it, and we'll see what happens. But yes, I did take this time out to build an online store, which I'm really super duper excited about. And it's all metaphysical supplies. The name of the site is New Age Supply. And up there, I sell a lot of metaphysical items, New Age items, like divination tools, tapestries, anything that you can think of that has to do with spirit, the esoteric field. So, but yeah, and I'm really nervous because it's been a while since I've done this. I also have a YouTube channel, and if you look, the last readings that I did were for the month of October, I believe. And I didn't even finish the signs there. I really needed to take that break out. So hopefully I'm back for good. And I got my biggest cheerleader right here with me. So thanks, Mark. Yeah, rah, rah, rah. Okay, so, but that's it. Um,
Okay, Kim. You want to maybe start with Gemini, see what you're getting, give you a little bit to see what's coming through for Gemini. Gemini, the twins.
twins. Let's see. Okay. All right, now I can take this jacket off. I'm feeling, as soon as I mentioned Gemini, I started to get a headache, and I'm starting to feel very antsy, very like an anxiety type of feeling. So I feel like there's a lot of energy going on around Gemini. I'm getting confused energy, maybe confused about something. Hang on. I really feel like health could be an issue for you coming up. Um, and I really feel like a lot of it is associated to your diet. And so, and also breathing issues. Because I'm like, if you can hear me, it's like, this is how spirit works with me. They use my physical body to deliver these messages. And I'm just really, if you notice, I keep catching my breath. So I feel like, and I just heard pneumonia. So there could be some Geminis that are coming down with like a bout of pneumonia. Definitely take care of that. Okay, hold on. You know, I feel a lot of old energy kind of coming up, and it's sad. Like there's a sad feeling to this, like a heartbroken feeling to this. And I think you're kind of just sitting with it right now, not sure what to do with it. A lot of old memories coming up. This is what is initiating the sadness. Okay. It's okay to feel sad, but try not to get into a depressed state, especially going into the new year. You don't want to carry this energy into the new year. It's a new energetic cycle, literally. There's something different about this new year coming up. And I feel like you could have really good things coming, really good news coming in. But if you stay in this energy, it can just bypass you. Yeah, you know, I want to pull a couple of cards just to see what else I can pick up on. And I'm also going to open up the chat on my phone so I can see the comments because I can't see it. Right here. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So like I said, challenging times. This is what's going on with you guys right now. It's challenging. It's hurtful. It's bringing up a lot of old energies. Now, I will say, like I said, you got to try not to focus on that because the new year coming in, you don't want to bring this into the new year because what's going to see the card manifest, you're really manifesting a lot. There's a lot going on that's good for you right now. But if you focus on this negative feeling, whatever this is, sorry, I just got interrupted because they have me focusing at the top of this card. Can you see that? It's like he's manipulating this energy that's coming out of this chest. But if you look at the top, see that heart, the way the two energetic streams flow and it comes together at the top into like a heart shape. So, this is definitely a love situation that's affecting you. So, but I'm hearing choose love, choose love. And it could be over anger. Share the love. And you see in the center of this heart, I don't know if you can focus. It looks kind of broken, but it looks like that light is coming out. So there's a choice, you know, you can make a choice with that. And it's so funny how the light is coming out of the center of that heart when the light is being manifested out of this box, creating a heart. So that's definitely the message for you guys. But see, refusing to see. It might be, I'm trying to line this up with the camera right. But refusing to see, it's like this shell around your head is blocking spirit from coming in and helping you come out of this depressed state. Like this guy, let me try to get rid of this glare. Like this guy doesn't look too happy, you know, he looks a little depressed. So it's really trying to tell you to like fight through that. But yeah, that's what I'm getting for Gemini. So let's see if Mark's ready to continue with his cards.
All right, guys. So what I'm getting for Gemini here is I'm feeling as though there's maybe a loss of reputation, but I feel as though that it's more of a loss of reputation in the eyes, or through the eyes, I should say, of yourself. That's what I'm really feeling here, and what I'm really picking up here. Within this spread here, I have Sagittarius, I also have Capricorn, and I also have Virgo, and I also have Aries, Leo, or Sag. But I'm just going to go ahead and mention that for you guys, because I know you guys like to hear those signs. And you may have that in your chart. Any signs that I mention, you may have them in your chart, or you may be dealing with that sign. So back to you guys, though. I'm feeling as though that like I said, there's a loss of reputation, but through the eyes of yourself, Gemini. This is what I'm really feeling. And I'm really also feeling that there's a struggle between doing what's right and doing what you want. And I feel as though that's where the misunderstanding maybe comes from. I'm feeling as though that maybe possibly other people don't really see this kind of going on with you, Gemini, but I kind of feel as though that it's something internal that's kind of going on with you. I'm also feeling here, or what I also see here is you're working towards something. There's something that's going to come to fruition, or it has come to fruition. But the only thing is, Gemini, with the Seven of Pentacles reversed here, that which came from your work, or whatever it is that you put work into, the choices and that kind of manifested from this venture that you've been on, whatever it may be, relationship, partnership, it could be maybe a new job, at your job, whatever the case may be. I feel as though that things that are coming from it, you don't really want to accept them. And I'm feeling, Gemini, that it's because we have the Devil card here. And I feel as though that there's a little bit of, I'm going to say this, but extracurricular activities that may be kind of going on that may be preventing you from solidifying something for yourself. I'm also feeling that this item, this person, whatever it may be for you today, that is holding you back, I'm really feeling like it's maybe a substance. I'm really feeling like, and I hate to say that and kind of put that out there, but I really feel like that's kind of what it is. And I feel as though that this substance is kind of, whether that could be alcohol, that can be, medication, it can be whatever the case may be for you, Gemini. But I feel as though that this is kind of making your decisions right now. And I feel as though that you're trying to maybe keep it under control. And I feel as though that's why I'm going back to maybe a loss of reputation, maybe through the eyes of yourself, in terms of doing what's right and doing kind of what you want. That's where I'm kind of concluding that that's maybe what's going on for you in January here. That you're going to realize that when we don't do things from our heart, or when we don't do things from positive and benign intention, what ends up happening is that what manifests from it, or the decisions that come from it, we really don't want to take them because they're not really going in our favor, or they're not really kind of manifesting to our favor, or we really just don't want to accept them. And also, we can feel also, Gemini, that we kind of wasted our time. And this is kind of what happens when we kind of go after what we desire versus what we really need. And using maybe a substance, or using another person. Since it's kind of general, I'm just going to go ahead and throw everything out there. But whatever it may be, in terms of whoever this Devil card is for you, whoever it is, it could be Capricorn, or it could just be 'But I feel as though that you're trying to justify it. I feel you're trying to say it's not affecting me. I can work with it. I can work with it. It's fine. It's gonna be fine. It's gonna be okay. But I don't really feel like it's happening because with the Seven of Pentacles here reversed, I mean, this is not wanting to take or make a decision, you know, based upon what comes from whatever it is that you're creating, basically. So I feel as though that the intention is there in terms of wanting to kind of succeed and wanting to overcome this, but at the same time, you're not cutting out really what is necessary that needs to get cut out, that is kind of making your decisions, I feel. And that's why I believe that temperance is here as well. It's time to make better choices. It's time to develop some moderation within your life. It's time to heal, I feel as though that's what it is. And with the Hermit reversed here, I mean, could be dealing with a Virgo, but even then, I just feel like this is not really seeking your higher power, not really seeking your higher self, kind of walking away or staving off your spirituality and your higher self in terms of who it is and whatever it is that makes you feel better, and that is your higher self, whether that's God for you, whether that's a crystal, whatever it may be for you. It's not really seeking it, and it's not really checking in with it. And I feel like there's a loss of understanding for yourself or through the eyes of yourself. That's why I was saying that at the beginning. Okay, yeah, I think that's it. All right, what are you getting for Libra scales, Kim?
Okay, Libra. Let's see what we got. Sorry, guys, my cat keeps jumping on me. What's going on, Libra? Okay, Libra. I'm getting tired. I'm needing change. Things go good and then they don't. And then they go good and then they don't. And it's exhausting, literally, physically, mentally, emotionally exhausting. You're coming out of it. I think it's like the most challenging situations, the most difficult, the most painful situations are coming to an end. Meaning they're not affecting you on the same emotional level that they were at one point. I feel like Libra's gotten strong enough where they can look at things from a different perspective and not react so emotionally to other people, because it seems like, you know, things just keep coming at Libra. Okay, things come at it. I mean, you could be sitting there in your own little square and you're just being pulled up, and people are, it's not even your issues, it's everybody else's issues affecting you. You're good, it's everybody else's issues affecting you, and it keeps pulling you out of this comfort zone. But I feel like you're kind of putting a stop to that. You're not allowing that anymore. It's kind of like you're putting your foot down, because I mean, let's face it, Libras are about justice, they're about balance, they're about fairness. And sometimes they will take the brunt of things just to have a balance in a situation, even if, you know, they have to eat it, even if that means that they have to be the ones to, you know, bear all the weight. And it can be in any area. It can be emotionally. It could be literally, you know, physically, you know, being the one to, the only one working or the only one working things out in a relationship, the only one trying to make things work. And it seems like I just feel like you're at a point where you're saying, okay, no more. You can't take advantage of me in this way anymore. And so it's kind of like you're putting your foot down. I mean, a Libra will come in wielding that sword and chop your head off if they have to. But you don't want to. This is kind of like you finally like protecting yourself, protecting your own worth, your own value, your own thoughts, your own ideas, and just saying, okay, this is me, it's my time. And I feel like there's like a lot of confusion around you right now too. And the way it's being shown to me is like a push-pull. Do I stay? Do I go? Do I stay? Do I go? And so this could be this type of situation going on. And I feel like you're kind of just laying low at the moment and not making any decision because you're not sure if it's the right one, whatever this may have to do with. And it doesn't, I don't necessarily focus on one area. Like, I mean, if it has to do with a love situation, it'll resonate. If it has to do with a work situation, it'll resonate. So however it resonates is how it's meant. But you're very innovative. You're full of ideas right now. And it would be worth taking them into consideration. It would be worth exploring where these ideas can bring you. You know, because I'm also getting like this sense of feeling stuck. Not sure how to move forward in something. It could be with someone or about a project. It could be with anything, but I'm just getting this feeling of let me just see how things play out. Let me see how things work out. Because I feel like some Libras are willing to stick something out until the wheels fall off. But I feel like the wheels may fall off soon. And when it happens, you're going to be okay with it. It's not going to be a shock, like kind of like a tower moment. It won't be a shock to you. It'll be something that's expected. And so I kind of feel like even though Libra doesn't want that tower moment, you're kind of mentally preparing. And I think this is where the confusion comes in because you're not sure if you're the one that should be creating the tower or not. So lay low. I would say lay low. Because it's not you. This is other people around you that's affecting your energy. And as long as you're staying focused, like keep your eye on the prize, you know, I really feel like things will work out. You know, and money could be good for you this month if you allow it to be, if that makes sense. Like, I really feel like you're in control of that to a certain extent. Meaning, like, if you focus on what you don't have, then you will continue to not have, you know? It's kind of like the law of attraction this month. Manifesting what you want is really important to pay attention to your thoughts. It's very important to pay attention to your thoughts and what you're manifesting, because I really feel like right now you can think something into existence accidentally. So, you know, if money is on the mind, then feel like you already have it. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm getting for Libra, but I'll see if I can clarify again with my cards. And if this is resonating with you, let me know, because I'm not sure. Like I said in the beginning, the energy has changed for me, so I receive the messages differently than I used to. Oh, love abounds. So that's probably where the choice is too. Yeah. We got detach. So that could be, you know, definitely detaching yourself from these people that are making you feel like I said, you know, you're okay. Things keep coming at you. And so it's asking you to detach, you know, and if you need help doing that, by all means, you know, you got the card reaching out. And I feel like spirit is really important this month. I feel like, and this goes for me too. I feel like if you haven't been feeling connected to spirit lately, it's time to reach out. It's time to make this connection. It's time to detach yourself from these negative people, because, you know, with the love abounds, I mean, to me, this could be in any area: love of a person, love of a project that you've been working on. And like I said, I'm a Libra, so this resonates with me a lot, you know. And then with the final card, we've got Blossom. So you're very capable of making these things happen in your life. But don't forget about spirit. You see, it's kind of funny. Like, I associate the colors on these cards. They stand out to me for a reason. And when you got the reaching out card, and that's reaching out to spirit, and you see the colors in that card, then look at Blossom. It's the same colors going on, like how she's manipulating that ball of fire. And that big circle around her, to me, is spirit all around her. And it's kind of like manipulating the different elements. See, like it's got fire and earth in there. And that's balance. And that's what Libra needs, is balance. But you've got to be able to detach yourself from these negative thoughts, from negative people, you know, whatever it is that's keeping you kind of stuck, you know, kind of stuck in a situation, or stuck in a thought process, like a continuous thought process. If you're thinking negatively all the time, detach yourself from that and reach out, ask spirit for help. They'll help you. All right, that's what I'm getting for Libra. So, Mark, you can take it away.
Okay, guys. Libra. So what I'm kind of getting here, what I'm picking up on is you're trying to forge your own way, I feel. You're also trying to, I want to say, take control of situations, but I don't mean that in a negative aspect, in a way like you just want to control everything. What I'm trying to say is I feel as though that you're tired of other people's offers coming in and them not really being to your liking or really to what you want, I feel. And I feel as though that you are having to maybe curb your emotions for the greater cause, I feel as though. And I also feel as though, too, Libra, that you are kind of coming to the point where you're going to have to revisit your emotions. You're going to have to revisit why maybe you are put in this position, or why you have been here. Why have you come to this point in your life where maybe other people have made your decisions for you up to this certain point, or up to a certain point, I feel. Here in the spread, you could be maybe dealing with a fire sign, Aries, Leo, Sag, or Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius. And I also feel that there's a lot of wands here, Libra, in the spread. And I also feel as though that now you are, you're sticking up, Libra, for yourself. And I feel as though that now you're fighting for what's right, I feel now. And I also feel as though that you're fighting for your rightful place in this situation, or within this circumstance, whatever it may be for you today. And I feel as though too, Libra, you're tired of feeling left out of things. You're tired of being last on the list, in a sense, when you put other people first on your list. And you're tired of the going back and forth with people, not seeing the reciprocity, not seeing other people respecting you the way that you respect them. And I also feel as though that you're now going to cut the bullshit out. It's coming to that point where now you see that you're tired, Libra, of people sort of looking at you as sort of, we're saving the best for last, in a sense. And I feel as though, Libra, that it's time now where you're going to cut the crap out. You're going to cut the people that no longer serve you out. And it's time to completely just cut. I'm really hearing, my guides are telling me, cut the shit. And I hate to say the S word here, but that's basically what they're giving me. That's the energy that I'm getting here. I mean, and we do have the Queen of Swords. So it does have to do with being cut out, or cutting out, being left out, with the Five of Pentacles reversed here. Because Libra, when this card is upright, the Five of Pentacles, this is, Libra, sort of a card where when it's upright, this is a choice. It's kind of like the Eight of Swords, meaning the choice. Being left out is a choice, you know, because if we are left out of something, why do we feel like we need to be a part of it? But when it's reversed, I'm picking up here in this spread that it's no longer going to affect you. You're no longer going to take it. It's time to fight for what's right in terms of what you want and in terms of what you're going to stand up for, because you don't want to feel left out of anything anymore, because you're not left out of anything anymore, because now you're on the protection for yourself spectrum, if that makes sense. I mean, I'm kind of getting a lot of messages. Oh, guys, and don't forget, it's Mercury retrograde. So doing readings right now, it's extremely hard just to kind of get the information out and to kind of understand the messages that are kind of coming through. And I'm a Virgo sun, so Mercury does rule me up to a certain point. Kim is also a Virgo Libra cusp, so Mercury retrograde affects her as well. But just wanted to let you guys know that. But back to you guys. Yeah, it's time to look out into the world and see what you really want now. And it's going to be hard, and it's going to be maybe moments of confusion, maybe moments of stagnation. But what I feel in terms of the stagnation, if you guys have been watching me for a while, you know how I feel about stagnation. But I feel as though that it's needed right now, because I feel like you kind of don't really know what to do right now, or it's coming through in terms of what you need to do. And I feel as though that it's time, Libra, to stand up for yourself and stand up for what you want, because no one's going to fight harder than you are for yourself. Because, yeah, I mean, I just keep going back to the Ace of Wands reversed here. This is really sticking out to me here. This is an idea not happening. This is creativity being stopped. This is creativity just not flowing. This is also maybe not accepting others' creativity. And when I saw the Ace of Wands here reversed, I look at this with the Queen of Wands here. I look at this as you're now going to take control of your own life and of your own decisions now. But it's going to take some healing with the Page of Cups here. It's going to take some healing in terms of why have you been in these positions, you know, where no one, where people have made your decisions for you or anything like that. Exactly, Kim. It's like that. And I feel like it's reaching out to your guides. I feel like it's reaching out to God. It's reaching out to spirit. And it's also trusting yourself, though, Libra, because you have to trust yourself. You have to trust you in terms of that you got you, and trusting your own discernment and trusting your own beliefs based upon your own morals. And I feel like with the Page of Cups here, you're going to go back to that it's going to be a revisit of the emotions in terms of a readjustment, I feel, of the emotions. Yeah. Okay. All right, Libra, you got a long message there. Shoot, I'm a Libra ascendant, so hey, it did resonate a little bit with me. All right, Kim, what you got for Aquarius?
Okay. Oh, Aquarius. What I got for you guys? Let's see. Let me try to tune in and see what I get. It's been kind of difficult for me, like I said, so bear with me, okay? You know, Aquarius, you're going through some major changes right now. Major decisions, major life choices. You know, Aquarius are really good with not wanting to face problems head on, you know? An Aquarius would rather just like, well, some Aquarius, not all. So let me take that back. Some Aquarius. Less evolved, I'll say. Less evolved, a little less evolved. Aquarius don't like to deal with anything that is going to stir up an emotion, an uncomfortable emotion. If it's not, and if it has to do with them. But I feel like there's choices that have to be made for the next phase, the next step in your life. And I'm also getting caution. Take caution. Be very mindful on the choices that you're making, people that you're associating yourself with, because not everybody has your best interest at heart. And you know this. But it seems like, well, if it feels okay right now, then I'm not worried about it. You'll deal with whatever comes up when it comes up. I mean, it's okay to feel like that, to be like that. But when you avoid situations like that because you just don't like to deal with the uncomfortableness of a situation, then you kind of implode, you know, you kind of store things up until they build, and then they explode, you know, and it's kind of like, nope, don't want to deal with it right now. Deal with it later. If I don't need to deal with it right now, I'm not going to deal with it right now. And I think it's that thing, that very thing, that's starting to change. I think you're finally see that, okay, I might be able to get away with that for a little bit longer, but for how long? Because I really feel like right now, shit is getting real. It's getting real for you. You're starting to see that decisions that you make, people you associate yourself with, it's affecting your own growth. It's affecting your family. It's definitely affecting your family, or friends or other people, others. It's affecting others. And I'm getting a strong sense of family. So it could be definitely affecting family, loved ones, or somebody you would consider as family. You know, because you've gone through some painful stuff, and now it's finally coming to the surface that you're not really focusing on other people's needs or emotions, even though you know they exist. I feel like right now at this moment, because you've tucked these feelings away for so long, and now that they're coming to the surface, it's kind of like, okay, now I'm ready. Now we can work on me. I understand you got stuff going on with you, but you've had stuff going on with you and we've dealt with that. Now it's me. Now it's my turn. And it's almost like with a disregarding sense of other people's stuff. And it's not a bad thing. It's just, I feel like, and it's not a bad thing because I don't feel like it's intended in that way. It's not intended in that way at all. You don't mean to come off that way. It's just you have pushed your own stuff aside for so long because you chose not to deal with that. And now that you're ready to, you know, put those boots on and do the work, so just be mindful of that, you know, that other people are still human. We all still go through emotional stuff. And it's okay to work on you. I encourage it. You should, absolutely. But keep other people, just be mindful of that. That's all I'm saying. Okay. Because it can hurt. You know, you're another sign right now that's ready to just walk up out of people's lives that are not serving you any justice. If they're not good for you right now, I think you're coming to a point where, you know, you're more comfortable with saying, okay, sayonara, I got shit to do. It's crunch time right now. It's kind of like you feel this urgency. You know, you're such an awesome sign. You're really just an awesome sign. I really, really like Aquarius. And whatever it takes to get you in a different mental space that's good for you, do it. Do it. Because I would rather see you make that move than go back to ignoring your emotions and dealing with them and working with them. I mean, just don't get arrested or anything, but do what it is you need to do, because you do matter. You do need to focus on you. Just be mindful that whatever, and I can't say this enough, if it's yours, own it. If it's your responsibility, deal with it. And I think you're coming to that. I think you're doing much better with that right now. I really do. I mean, it's really a strong message, like for Aquarius. It's an encouraging message for Aquarius from Spirit. They're encouraging you to keep doing the work because, you know, I think you get confused sometimes, or really, it's either some Aquarius get confused on whether they're doing the right thing or not, and then others are just not paying it no mind, kind of living free-spirited, very free-spirited. And now it's like reality's here and you're like, okay, it's not working. You know, life still goes on around, you know, outside of this. And you got to take that seriously. So let me see what else I'm getting for Aquarius. Oh, there's one. Hold on. Yeah, feeling alone. You know, that has a lot to do with cutting people out that are not resonating with your highest good anymore, and you're willing to do that. Definitely taking on that Queen of Swords energy. Let me grab one more card. Oh, there we go. Okay. You know, it's like all these cards kind of go together. And I feel like there's an additional, like, I feel like there's just an added message here, okay? Like, I think they can all be pieced together, but I feel like it's more than what I was getting. Okay, so taking control of a situation that's not working. It's making you feel depleted, you know? And really looking at the people around you, who stays, who goes. And right now, I think while you're going through this, it's a lonely place. You can feel alone. You're not sure if you're making the right decision. You know, it's like a really confused look here, you know, just tired and worn. But Spirit is right behind you, you know, egging, you know, cheering you on. You know, they really are. And telling you you're not alone. You're really not alone, even if it feels like you are. But you see how the moon is coming up over this mountain? It's like you're starting to see the light. And you've got this lantern by your side. And I really want to look at that lantern like your inner light. You're still holding on to that and letting it guide you. But you're coming to a place where you're starting to see that. You're starting to see. And that's good, because here's the outcome. It's love. This could be love of yourself, love in a relationship, finally deciding whether you want a union with a person or not, and cutting other people out. This is love between you and Spirit. This is so many different corners that this could touch, you know? But it's coming. So stay strong in that, Aquarius, because you really are on the right track. And I know it's been hard. And at the bottom of the deck, we had seek. So this is like seeking out guidance. Maybe you should be alone for a while, because this is something that Aquarius don't like to do. You know, I feel like more Aquarius than any other sign are, when it comes to spirituality, it's harder for them to accept it. It's harder for them to, it's kind of spooky in a way to them, to some Aquarius. You know, if you don't have scientific proof, then it's hard for them to wrap their head around it. And the Aquarius that do get it are just very evolved Aquarius. So, or you have other placements in your chart that are very spiritual. But yeah, Aquarius, that's what I feel like is going on with you. And kind of scattered here, but we can blame Mercury for that. So I'll let Mark take the floor now. All right, guys.
All right, Aquarius. I feel as though, Aquarius, that you could be dealing maybe with the Libra since we have the Two of Swords reversed here, or just the Two of Swords in general. I feel as though, Aquarius, that there's an element of in this spread here of just kind of waiting around and okay, hoping that things would just kind of work out by themselves, or things would just work out without maybe any of your support or any of your assistance within the situation. And it's very interesting, of course, because you're a sign that doesn't really wait around. Like, you know, you're not a sign that just kind of just sits there and just like was like, oh well, we'll just let things roll. Like, not at all. And that's what I'm finding very interesting. And I hate to put it like or state a blanket term as so, because you know it depends upon what's in everyone's chart. But I feel as though, Aquarius, that you want stability. You really do. You're craving it and you really do want it. I can see it with the King of Pentacles here. You could be dealing with the Virgo, Capricorn, or Taurus, possibly. We got the Seven of Wands again here. Libra got this as well, and then here's Libra at the bottom of the deck here. But besides all that, I just feel as though that you're fighting other people that are trying to provide you with sustenance, that are trying to provide you with direction, with support, with, okay, you don't want to, see, look, with the Eight of Pentacles reversed here, with the Seven of Wands here upright, and the King of Pentacles here. When I see this, guys, what I'm concluding is that Aquarius, you don't want to hold your end up of the deal. You don't want to, I feel, put in the work that's necessary so that you can maintain this stability that someone is trying to give you or trying to supply for you. And I feel as though, Aquarius, that yeah, like I said, you're waiting around to hopefully believe or to hopefully come to the conclusion, or that things will just magically work out the way that they do, and that people will understand you with the Six of Wands here, or that people will then I'm kind of picking up, the people will then excuse your intentions or excuse what you're kind of doing or what you're kind of up to. And with the Two of Cups here, this can be a relationship, but I feel as though, of course, that this is the union of you and your spiritual self, I feel. And also a balance between your feminine and masculine sides. I feel like it's very important that you get a hold of that. Because, Aquarius, if you want to be acknowledged, and if you want to have and deserve, you know, your accolades, you have to work at it. You have to give someone something to kind of respect, in a sense, or you have to put the work in that is required so you can maintain that stability, and you can also give it back. It may not be in the same quantity, you know, or the same quality, but it's still, it's reciprocity. It's giving something back, and also learning from whoever is supplying this for you. And I also feel as though that you're fighting it, Aquarius. You're fighting it. You are you're not wanting to see. No, I'm sorry. My guy just said you see very clearly. You don't want to just do what is necessary so that this is something that is maintained. And I feel as though, Aquarius, with the Two of Swords here reversed, you know, this is being stuck between a rock and a hard place. But I feel like, you know, first you kind of put yourself in that position. And also, Aquarius, we have Judgment reversed here. Whenever I see Judgment reversed, to me, this can mean, and I feel like it's here in this case, that have you learned your lesson yet, Aquarius? Have you learned your lesson in terms of what this type of energy can bring, the Seven of Wands here. This is not a bad card, guys, the Seven of Wands. But when it's for the wrong reasons, when someone's fighting and standing up for the wrong reasons, and doesn't want to work on what needs to be worked on, and then just kind of hang around, right? And then kind of just expect, like, you know, people are just going to, like, understand you, and you're just, you know, everything's going to work out the way that it does. That's not how it really works. That, I hate to say it, Aquarius, but that's a figment of your imagination. If you kind of think that it's going to work like that. Maybe it has for you in the past, but I don't feel like it really is working now for you, possibly. And I'm sorry, I don't want this to be negative for you, Aquarius, but I feel as though you got pretty good cards here, but there's a lot of negation here. There's a lot of conflict, or there's, I'm sorry, what's the word I'm looking for? There's a lot of negation. I feel like that's the proper word. Like, you don't fight for what's really right, you know, and then stand up for your stability, but then you don't want to put the work in. Like, how does that work? You will never achieve the King of Pentacles here. You won't. That's what I'm saying. How there's a lot, there we go. Thank you, Spirit. Contradiction. There's a lot of, damn Mercury. There's a lot of contradiction here within the spread, I feel. But I feel as though that there's going to come a point in time, Aquarius, when you're going to say, damn, how many times do I have to go over this? How many times do I have to really go down this damn road? How many times do, you know, I have to be dishonest about my feelings? How many times am I going to not acknowledge them and go through them and really understand why you do some of the things that you do? You know, it's important we have to go through the issue, not around it. And I feel, Aquarius, like this is going around it. And then we can't be surprised when we're stuck in, you know, the Two of Swords here. When, you know, we're stuck between a rock and a hard place and we feel like we don't really know what to do, or there's no indecision. Also, this card in reverse for me can mean indecision, right? Or making the wrong decisions. You know, the wrong decisions, I feel, Aquarius. That was a little heavy. Sorry, Aquarius, but I feel like that kind of needed to get out. All right. Damn. All right, Kim, what do you have for Aries, the zodiac child?
Sorry, I have to get rid of my cat. Okay, let me see. Aries. Aries, hang on one second. My cat is breaking my, stop. My cat's breaking my concentration. Aries. You know, Aries, I kind of feel like your focus right now is, sorry about that, guys. I kind of feel like your focus right now is on your finances, family and finances, but, or it could be taking care of your family. Maybe I just heard Aries. It's kind of like saying, what am I doing all this for? I'm getting the sense of feeling underappreciated. I couldn't see that, but I'm sure it's relevant. Wow. Tell me what that was when you go back on.
Yeah, it was the Emperor and the Six of Cups, and it's crazy how you said feeling, irrelevant or not feeling important. And Six of Cups is, it's a card of
this is
looking to the past. And it was the Emperor, which is Aries card.
It's so funny because this is dealing with a past situation for sure. This is why this is coming up for Aries. It's kind of like I'm hearing repetitive. This is like a repetitive cycle for Aries. It's kind of like situations. It's like it reminds me of Groundhog Day, like when they're just repeating themselves and it's getting old to you. You're getting frustrated, losing your patience with this. Like how many times do we press reset to play the same, movie over again? Yeah, time warp. Yeah. Feeling very underappreciated, and I feel like you'll work your fingers to the bone, and it's for the love of others. It is a very selfless thing that you're doing, and you're wondering, okay, where's my cut of it? Where's my, I'm providing all of this. I'm working my, fingers to the bone, but what am I receiving for it? Where's the payoff? It's kind of like working your whole life for no retirement fund. That's kind of how it's feeling. Like, what are you going to have to fall back on once it's done, once the work is done? Where's your cushion? It's kind of like this is where your energy is right now. And so you're really contemplating, because sometimes Aries can be very rash, that's it. I've had it. I've had enough. Get away from me. And then, Aries are a lot more sensitive than people realize. They're a very sensitive sign. They just have this shell around them. They can pick up and move on quite easily, but they're really sensitive. And people don't realize that about Aries. Aries is really good at hiding that. They can hide sad emotion with anger very well. And so it's easy for an Aries to lash out at somebody. And a lot of people think that they're just mean and nasty when they do this, but it's really because they don't know how to handle the hurt emotion. They're not a water sign. Water signs ace that. Fire signs do not. So where Aries is fire and emotional, that in itself is a confusing feeling. So when they're feeling underappreciated, they are angry about it. They are hurt by it. And, and so sometimes Aries will lash out and they have a fast cool down. They have a kind of a fast cool down. It's full speed ahead, rage, all this stuff. But their cool down is some, it's pretty quick. So once they're in the cool down period, they'll try to work things out again. Let's see, now that that's done, let's see if we can pick this up and keep moving forward, because that's what Aries wants to do. They want to move forward. Let's go. Let's do this. And when the other participant is not willing or not budging, Aries will keep trying. But right now, they're at a point like, okay, I'm done. I'm done trying. I don't want to keep moving this forward. I'm done. So now what do? Now I'm going to think long and hard about how to make this work. And that's not an Aries thing either. Aries are very impulsive. Move now, move now. But now they're kind of being forced to make a choice. And that involves a very air energy where they have to be up in their head. So Aries is a little off balance, even though they have that go-to energy. They're just kind of being taken out of their element right now, but it's for their own good. It is for your own good, Aries, even though it may feel uncomfortable. It's good to take a vacation from your own normal way of handling a situation or doing things, because, you know, it's part of your spiritual growth. And it'll also build confidence in the next situation, because we always have situations come up. We always have situations come up, but are you prepared for them? It's kind of like going on the job without the training and just being fed to the wolves. This is your training. This is kind of like your training for the next full-time position that you get. So let me get a couple cards and see what pops out. Master. Look at that. Mastering your emotion. Mastering your emotion. Such a water energy. Yeah. It's such a water energy. You know, you're taking on water and air energy right now, and you're mastering it. You really got it. You're doing it. Detaching yourself from situations that are not serving your highest good. That's awesome. I'm really, really happy for you, Aries. Really. You know, coming together. This has a lot to do with family, like I said. It has a lot to do with love. But, you know, this can also be for some Aries who have been resisting working with another, because Aries tend to do that too, you know, like things have to be their way. But I feel like you're ready to drop that a little bit and say, okay, that's not working. We got to work this out. Excuse me. And you're thinking, doing a lot of thinking. You're welcome, Dee. One more time. Let's see what else I can get. Whoa. God, Lord. And remember, I was saying I dropped like half my deck on the floor. I'll pick it up in a second. But remember, I was saying that this is kind of like your training for your next position, you know? And look, opportunity beckons. So you keep going on the path that you're going, as uncomfortable as it is, you know, it's going to bear fruit. It is. Excuse me. Okay, I'm going to let Mark take it, and I'm going to mute my side so you don't hear me dying over here.
Okay, so Aries. There's a real sense, Aries, of working behind the scenes. But I don't mean that. in a negative way or in a pejorative manner. The reason why I say that is because, you know, we have the Magician here. And look what's underneath the Magician. The Emperor. Well, hello, Aries. I feel as though, Aries, that there's a real need to there has been a struggle, Aries, with taking the good with the bad, I feel. Not necessarily looking past it. That's not really what I'm kind of getting at. It's just acceptance, I feel. And I also feel, Aries, that it's time to take a different route. And it's time to, what I'm hearing is, it's time to believe in what you maybe cannot see. And I feel as though, Aries, that it has to do with spirituality. And I feel as though that, Aries, things have come to like a culmination in your life. And I feel also as though you're now looking elsewhere for, I don't want to say answers, but possibly maybe for guidance, or looking elsewhere for opportunities in terms of moving forward. And I feel as though, Aries, that things are going to change now. You're going to now see who was really around when it really mattered. That's what I'm really feeling like. And I'm also feeling, what I'm picking up on, Aries, is keeping score. There's people in your life or people within your environment or your situation that you've been finding that have been maybe keeping score in terms of how much you do for them or how much they do for you. And I'm also picking up that it's getting kind of thrown in your face a little bit. It's become a game of who can do the most or keep the most or have the most points. I feel not necessarily maybe feeling like it's maybe from you. I feel like it's maybe from people within your environment. You could be dealing with a Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. You could be dealing with a Virgo, a Cancer, and you also could be dealing with a Libra. And I also feel as though it's now time for you, Aries, to be the ruler of your own fate, I feel, with justice here. It's time to take matters into your own hands now and not just kind of let things fly, you know? Not to let things just kind of just go the way that they do. And I feel as though, Aries, that it's time to visit those deep parts of yourself that you necessarily maybe don't visit very often, or you really don't really express to anyone. I feel like maybe even to yourself, I feel it's kind of hard to maybe go deep within. And as a fellow Aries moon, we can be very emotional, right? But it's more of a passion. And with Aries, it's very it's a lot of highs and lows. You know, the excitement reaches a pinnacle and then it kind of comes down and then it kind of comes up and then it kind of comes down, and we get really excited really easy. And you know, that's why in all my generalships, I always say, you know, Aries the zodiac child, because that's really what it is, or that's really who you are. And I'm not calling you a complete child like you're immature. I'm just saying that it's of the essence of one. It's you see, with a child as well, if you were to say that or consider maybe Aries, you know, the zodiac child, which kind of are, but you understand what I'm saying. If you were to consider that, there's a form of innocence within a child as well. And I feel like with Aries, there's a form of innocence with you, and sometimes you maybe fail to see that. You fail to see the innocence that's within you. And therefore, when certain situations arise and when they come up when they come up to the fore, and when then you have to realize when certain things don't go the way that you want them to, or things aren't really favorable, it's you don't really know how to deal with it because you don't really understand it. And I feel like that's where the innocence comes in. Now, it's not excusable, or it's, you know, in terms of what you do or your actions, because, you know, we're all adults here. But I'm just saying that there's a form of ignorance. And when I say ignorance, I don't mean ignorance like people misconstrue that word. You know, they think that ignorance means stupid or dumb, and that's not really that's not what it is at all. Ignorance means that you just don't understand. You don't know. You know, like a child is ignorant to a FICO score. The child's ignorant to a mortgage. We can't expect a child to understand that. I'm not saying that that's what the case you're in, but you understand what I'm saying, where we can't expect people to, we can't hold people up to a certain standard when they are ignorant, when they don't understand, when they don't really just don't know. We can't blame another person for that. But the person actually accusing Aries of something when Aries is ignorant, that says a lot about them. And I feel as though that's why the Three of Cups is here, where all of that whole little soliloquy I just did. I feel as though that you're going to start to realize that in terms of what's really fair. Is it fair to always maybe be the nice guy, or to maybe always get upset and then just kind of get over it and then kind of move on? You can't keep doing that, because, you know, Aries, you do get upset, and then, you know, 10 minutes later you're like, hey, let's go get some yogurt with some sprinkles. You know, it's very like that. And it's some people can misconstrue that, and they're kind of just, I can hear people saying, oh, he or she's just off on one of their tangents, they'll be fine. But I feel, Aries, that there's more to the story. When you keep getting upset at the same thing, there's a reason why it's perturbing you. There's a reason why it's happening. But there's also, you have to question yourself, why do you keep running into that? Why are you around those people that bring that out of you? Now, that may need to come out of you for it to be viewed and for it to come to the fore, for things to change. But why do people keep poking at you where that comes out, where you're pushed to your limit, where you're pushed to insanity, I want to say, even though we oblige insanity as well. But it's time to take the leap of faith. And it's time to jump off that cliff there. And it's time to now believe in something that you can't see. And that's believing in your higher self, and that's trusting yourself. That's being spiritual. This is seeking out higher wisdom and higher knowledge, and understanding the roots of things and why things happen the way that they do with the Hermit here. Yeah, it's enlightenment. And you can't have enlightenment, or you can't really gain enlightenment, Aries, if it's the chariot, if you have the Chariot reversed here. This is not taking the good and the bad together and moving forward with it. That's great, Jessica. Super happy for you. Like, that's great. I mean, it's a tough road. It really is, but it's worth it. And in terms of, you know, what's getting real deep and really finding those roots of where things come from and why we do this and why we look at that and why we perceive things as so, and why we do the things that we do. It's time for you to stand up for yourself now, Aries, and do what you need to do that's necessary for yourself, so you can then, right, move forward and continue moving forward. But it's going to take the leap of faith to believe in something that you can't, to believe in something that you can't see. Because, you know, you can't see it. It's there, right? We can't see the wind, but it's there, right? We can feel it. It's the same with spirituality. Same with God. You can feel it. It's a feeling. It's different. And no one can tell you that you're wrong. And it's not about being wrong or right. It's about believing in something that you need to believe in terms of what completes your life and what makes you a better person. And when these changes happen, you're gonna find a new group of friends and people that vibrate at your level and at your vibration, and, you know, people are gonna fall away. But it's okay, because that's what's fair and that's what needs to happen with justice here. All right. Okay. All right, Aries. Damn. All right. All right, Kim, what you got for Leo the lion?
Okay, Leo. What are y'all doing? What you up to, Leo? You know, Leo, you probably are one of the signs that learn the hardest lessons, too. It's almost as if you're a glutton for punishment. You know, I feel like you're welcome, D. It's kind of like you're sitting there like, what just happened? Like, I feel like things were going good and then all of a sudden, boom, fell apart. And you were an active participant. Thank you, Jessica. You were definitely an active participant in this, Leo. You know, whatever this is. And I feel like it's something where you're like, okay, I'm not sure what just went down. I'm not sure what just happened, but it is what it is. Let's just keep this train moving. No time to stop. Deal with any bull. Excuse me. Not trying to deal with any bull. Nobody's drama. But I feel like even though you're trying to avoid drama, it keeps showing up at your doorstep. But when you finally realize that you were a willing participant in this, that you played a role in this, and change how you associate yourself into these situations, then they'll keep reappearing. And I feel like there's some Leo that, Leos, I should say, that you could possibly be going back to something that was absolutely no good for you. Six of Cups. There it is. It was no good for you. No good. It caused nothing but chaos. And what is that? Nine of Swords? Yeah. That's definitely Nine of Swords energy.
It's the Three of Swords. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, it's about right, though. It's still, shoot.
Yeah. It's definitely feeling whoever this person was did not, and I repeat, did not give a damn about your feelings at all. And I feel like if you miss this person and you want to be around this person, then be around them. I will never tell anybody to not go where their heart is pushing them, even if it's a negative situation, because you're being guided back to that situation for a reason. There was something that you did not learn. When you evolve and you learn your lesson, you move on from it. You don't vibrate with it any longer. It doesn't resonate. So you move forward. But when you want to go back, when you have the desire to go back, that's because you're still vibrating on that same wavelength. And if this is not what you want, then you need to sit down and have a serious discussion with yourself, a serious look within. What is it about me that keeps attracting this? What am I putting out that's attracting this repetitive type of situation like a magnet? So you've got to be able to look at yourself in that way. I know it's hard for Leo to do that because the one thing that a Leo does want is to be perfect in all areas. They're really concerned about how they appear to other people. They take a lot of pride in that, a lot of pride in that. And for you to put yourself in a situation again that absolutely had you looking like a fool while you were in it, it's only because you haven't learned the lessons from it yet. There is no judgment in that. There is no harsh, everybody is on this road of evolution. And whatever it takes for you to evolve, then so be it, regardless of what other people think. You have to do what feels right to you. And if going back to something feels right, it may not be. It may be the worst thing, but it's going to force you to look at things from a different perspective and say, what am I doing? What am I thinking? You know, when somebody touches an oven, they're only going to keep doing it without oven mitts for so long. They'll eventually put the oven mitts on, protect themselves before they do it again. But sometimes it takes a couple times. And I do feel, though, once you do move backwards, you're not going to stay there long. You know, you're going to move out of that and say, okay, I don't know what I was thinking, and move away from it. But I feel like there's just that one part of you that needs to find closure. I think that's a big part of it too, is finding closure in a situation. I don't feel like that you got closure from. And another thing too is feeling alone. Leos don't like to be alone. They don't. You do not want to be alone. And I really feel like this is a love reading, and I try not to focus on love readings. I try to make it as general as possible, but I can't help but feel this energy strongly. So if it resonates in any way to a work situation, then it is still meant for you. I'm just being drawn to love and or a lack thereof, because this other person, they don't love you. They say they do, but I feel like I could be talking to a very small group of Leos, but I really feel like whoever this is, this person that insists that they care about you is batshit crazy. I have to say that. I'm so sorry. But be careful. Be careful. Make your choices wisely. Just be careful. It's a very confusing energy, really, but for me, because it's like I'm getting the message that you should follow your heart, and at the same time be careful. So sorry about that. But it makes sense, and I'll show you. Okay, so this is what you're looking for: balance. balance. Because, see this card, feeling alone. I mean, this card, these three cards literally just stuck out. Share the love. So, I would be careful too. You could be getting yourself into a third, three-way relationship unintentionally. And, that could absolutely make you be alone. Maybe, you know, it can create a situation where both people find out and then you're by yourself anyway. So you got to find the balance in that. You got to do what's right. I think that's where the advice of being careful comes in. But let me get another card for you. You know, I'm being told to pull a card from here. Different deck. And I think this is more like a warning card. Adjacent possibilities. You know, I kind of feel like you like to go back to what you know because it's more comfortable than finding something new. But if you can let go of your worries, your fears, and move forward, you know, with this card, adjacent possibilities, it's like you don't even see things right in front of you being handed to you because it doesn't make sense to you. Like this door on the floor doesn't make sense. This door hanging up here on the second floor with no staircase that leads up to it doesn't make sense. But if they're saying that don't exclude things because it doesn't make sense to you. And money's getting better with the financial constraints in reverse. And I really feel like with that, I really feel like I want to tell you to be careful with that money. I really feel like when Spirit is saying to be careful, I really feel like this is why they told me to pull the card from the other deck. Because I don't feel like being careful means being careful about the decisions, like with the first message saying, you know, in the first message I was saying to go forward. You know, if you're vibrating on that same frequency, then it's because there's something you haven't learned there, which is why you need to go back until you learn that. But with the being careful, I keep getting theft. So be careful in that. Be careful who you're surrounding yourself with. And I really feel like it could be with this person that you're going back to. Put your money in a bank. Don't leave your money hanging around. Don't trust everybody. I really feel like you can be a little, what's at the bottom of the deck? Deceit. I'm trying to tell you, watch your money. Watch your money, for sure. Watch your money. But that's it for Leo. Wow, that was weird. Okay, Mark.
That wasn't weird, Kim. That was Spirit. That's what that was. Shoot. They were working through you. Okay. Leo, your two base cards here are Well, if I can grip them. The Three of Swords here. And also Strength reversed. Kind of came up in your own reading, you know. Reversed. And I feel, Leo, that I'm picking up a really, really, I'm pretty sure you can attest to this, like a very somber energy. Almost like very, can't quite put the word on it or what it really feels like. A little bit of uncertainty. Okay, I feel like it's a little bit of like strength reversed, like just kind of letting things just happen. Yeah, like just no resistance, I feel. And Leo, since when are you not about the resistance? And I mean that in a positive way, of course. You know, Leo, you're a very proud sign, and there's nothing wrong with that. Absolutely nothing wrong with it. But I feel as though, Leo, that it's following what Kim said. I feel like it is a little bit of just allowing things to happen, allowing things to just transpire the way that they do. And I'm really feeling like it's just allowing, once again, I feel like it's like allowing people to make your decisions for you, but I feel like you don't feel like you can stand up for yourself, Leo. That's what I'm kind of picking up on a little bit. Like you feel completely, I don't want to use the word complacent, but kind of, yeah, like just take it, like that kind of just giving it all away. That's what I'm really feeling. And what I'm picking up here is it's time to go back, Leo, and really see, especially with this Mercury retrograde in Sagittarius. I mean, I'm pretty sure you all are sick and tired of hearing about it, but it has to do with, if you follow me on Facebook, I posted something not too long ago about it, and it's finding your truth. But it's about finding it when Saturn was in Capricorn. When Saturn was in Sagittarius, or is, I should say, in Sagittarius. It's about finding your truth. Sagittarius is a sign of higher learning, finding the truth in things. And I'm feeling as though, Leo, that it's a little tough right now for you to find your truth. And then when Saturn moves into Capricorn pretty soon, it's going to be about walking in your truth now. Because you found it. If you did, now it's about walking in it. And is it really something that you want? Is it really something of viability? Is it really going to work for you? And I feel as though that Mercury went retrograde because it was giving us a chance to really go back again in terms of logic, in terms of, that's why exes are coming back and things of that nature right now, is because it's a test and almost a review to see, is this really your truth? Because when Saturn moves into Capricorn, it's all about results. It's all about walking in your truth. It's about what works, and what doesn't will be removed by Saturn. And Saturn is, he's sour than sweet. He knocks you down, but you get up a bigger and stronger person. But the resistance that we give, or that we have, or we exhibit during that 2.5 years, I want to say, I think Saturn stays in a sign for 2.5 years. The resistance that we give and that we actually, like I said, exhibit towards it. And if we only have resistance, and that's all that we really feel, and that's all that we're really given during Saturn being in Capricorn, that means that we didn't take advantage of finding our truth. That means that we didn't find what was true for us, because then there wouldn't be any resistance. I mean, time and time again, there may be, every now and then, but it wouldn't be all the time. It wouldn't be a perpetual type of resistance. It would be more of an intermittent type of resistance. But if it's a perpetual thing, you maybe didn't find your truth. And I feel as though, Leo, that with the Four of Cups reversed here and the Page of Wands here, and Three of Swords in the middle, I feel as though, Leo, that There's a little bit of stubborn energy in terms of seeing how your actions are delegating or are portraying or putting together your future. Seeing how it actually happens and how it comes. And the Page of Wands here, you know, is someone who is a very young-spirited person. They don't really know how much power they really hold. When I say power, it means more of standing in your truth. They don't really understand it. They're the initiator of their creativity and finding out how it works. And I feel as though that you're starting to see, Leo, that maybe some of your actions are leading you to the Three of Swords. They're leading you to somewhat of heartbreak, of indecisiveness. But the Three of Swords is a card of it is a card of heartbreak, but it's also a card, Leo, of our active participation as well within the heartbreak, because we chose to stay around till that happened. And I'm feeling like with the Emperor reversed here, I mean, you could maybe be dealing with an Aries or have Aries in your chart. You could be dealing maybe with another Leo. But I feel as though that the Emperor reversed here for me in terms of this spread is saying that you don't feel powerful enough. When I say powerful, I mean confident. Let's say that. You don't feel confident enough to stand up for yourself and for your home and for your empire, whatever that may be, and who's in it and who's involved in it. And I really feel like it's not wanting to stand up for it, given that strength is reversed here, of course. But something is very interesting here, Leo, that the High Priestess, she's the holder of secrets. Now, when I say secrets, it just means information that may not be revealed, because what we don't know kind of doesn't really hurt us at certain times. And the High Priestess, when she's upright like this, she's a card of sometimes she doesn't say certain things because they don't need to be said at that specific time. It's like the keeper and delegator of private information, I guess, but only information that works. And it's also the card of using your intuition. And I feel as though, Leo, that it's time to really believe in yourself and to use your intuition and to stop putting your trust in other people in terms of, okay, I'm hearing making you happy. In terms of like, I'm also picking up, Leo, too, that it's a lot of, when I'm saying giving up and letting things just flow and happen, I feel as though it's, you feel as though that to stay within this relationship or this circumstance, you feel like you kind of just have to take what is coming to you, sort of be like a martyr. That's what I'm kind of picking up on. And every now and then we need to do that. It's okay, but not when martyrdom completely ends up bringing us to the Three of Swords here. Strength reversed here. Not feeling strong enough, not wanting to stand up for what you really believe in and in your truth. And then leading to stubborn energy in terms of not wanting to accept those things that are there for you in terms of that can help you or that can help get you out of this rut or this situation. And then just kind of giving up a little bit and not really understanding how you can stand in your truth and how much confidence is within you. You understand what I'm saying? Where it's leading to that point where it's choosing to kind of stay in the past with the Six of Cups here. And Kim, speaking of the Nine of Swords, I mean, you know, they do have the Nine of Swords reversed here. And the Five of Swords at the bottom of the deck. And I mean, I hate to do this to you, Leo, but the World card, I'm sorry, the Wheel of Fortune, I apologize, reversed. This karmic cycle is not over yet. Because back to what you were saying about the Magician reversed here, when I see this, there's a trickster in your midst, in a sense. And you have to take your end of the responsibility too, Leo, though. Now, I'm not saying that the situations that you're in, do you necessarily deserve them? Of course not. But if we continue to be stubborn and stay around and endure the Three of Swords and endure yourself coming up in your own readings reversed and endure giving up and not wanting to fight, that karmic cycle isn't going to be broken, and you aided in that in the process. And understand that it's hard to pick yourself up off the ground at times, of course, but you have to get to find what's left in you to move forward. You can't just give up like that, Leo, because you don't give up. That's just not in your nature. And I feel as though it's all about knowing what's right with the High Priestess here. I want to clarify the High Priestess. Maybe I don't do this, but Father God, why is the High Priestess here for Leo, Father? I feel like I need to clarify it, Lord. Why is the High Priestess here, Father, for Leo? Why is the High Priestess here for Leo? Why is it here? One more card, please, Father. Okay, 3 cards, okay. Leo, judgment reversed. Did we learn our lesson? Back to the karmic cycle not ending. King of Wands. And 6 of Wands reversed. You're not understanding who you are. You're not, people in your environment are not understanding who you are. But I feel as though that you need to embody this type of energy so you can understand who you are. The King of Wands here. Because this is who you are normally. But why are we the Page of Wands, you know? This doesn't match up. You need to find your strength again, Leo. And I understand it's hard and we all have different circumstances and different situations that, you know, surmount to different outcomes. Back to the 5 of Swords, back again at the bottom of the deck with the 9 of Swords reversed. When you realize, Leo, that you're fighting a battle of one with the 5 of Swords here, I feel like that's when you're going to come out of the 9 of Swords moment reversed, when you're going to come out of those debilitating thoughts, sleepless nights, not really being able to get your thoughts and yourself together and just kind of ruminating over things. And I feel as though, Leo, that it's going to happen when you come back to the King of Wands here. I'm also picking up that the King of Wands here can also put himself in this position. Ambition can be quite debilitating at times. It happens. It's all right. It's a part of life. But we need to learn our lesson now, Leo, with Judgment here reversed, and also knowing and trusting in yourself with the 6 of Wands reversed here. Knowing who you are, Leo, and reminding yourself of who you are. And using your intuition and knowing what you need and what you require. You need to be the change that you require, Leo, because no one else can really do it for you. Yeah. All right, Leo, that was really heavy. Sorry about that. Oh my God. Would you like to do Sag, Kim, or you want to take a little break? Yeah, a little break? Okay. All right, guys. I'm going to put the slide up that was there when we first began. So, yeah, we'll come back in a little bit, okay? I'll keep you guys posted within the chat. Okay, guys?
Do I do anything on my end? Okay.
Okay. All right, guys. Okay, we're back. So we're gonna go ahead and start with Sag, where we left off. All right, Kim. So what are you getting for Saggy?
Okay, I'm gonna light another incense and tune into Sag's energy and see what I pick up. And it's a good thing I have a backup pack of incense. So, was it all temperance? Yeah. Let me see what I get for Sag right now. All right, Sagittarius, Sag. You know, Sag, every time I try to tune in, like right now, I keep hearing one word. And the word that I'm hearing is vicariously. And with that, I'm also hearing stay true to you. So I feel like with hearing those two things, I feel like it has a lot to do with living up to what you think others' expectations are, not sure who you are anymore because you've been doing that for so long, and now you're ready to not do it, that you're it's kind of like searching for the true you. And so I kind of feel like, you know, it's kind of funny that Mark pulled that temperance card, because with temperance, the way I perceive the card is kind of like a chemist, you know, like they're mixing different potions, mixing different things to try to come up with one good, you know, taking a little bit of this and a little bit of that, mixing it together, finding out what the result is. But I feel like this is what you're doing inside, to try to find you. It's kind of like, you know, you're in there somewhere, like you're trying to mix the recipe. Remember, it's kind of like trying to bake a cake without having the list of ingredients in front of you, going off of memory. So you're kind of like the cake, you know, you're trying to remember everything you were made of so you can put it back together, mix it up, bake it, you know, when it's ready, pull it out, if that makes sense. So I feel like it's kind of like you're in a laboratory or a kitchen, you know, trying to find the right mix to make who you are. And I think you're doing it. I think it's a slow process, and I think you're doing it, and you're staying pretty balanced, you know, are looking for that balance, looking for the solution to what is going to bring balance in your life. Because I feel like Sagittarius energy was a little chaotic for a while, living vicariously, living kind of on the edge. And so I feel like you're ready for a new cycle. I feel like you're ready for something new. I feel like you're just feeling a little stagnated. Like you've kind of got this. They're kind of showing me like you're pulling on your own self. Like you feel this pull, like to move forward, and you're ready. You know, it's kind of like the college kid who was wiling out in college, but now they're ready to sit down and hit the books. Like they had their fun, now they're ready to hit the books and get serious about life. I feel like things have gotten really real for Sagittarius. And a lot of it has to do with Saturn. That's what I'm hearing. I don't know astrology. Not well, not at all, not enough. Very little about astrology. But I'm just hearing Saturn. Like I feel the planetary energies are what's causing this shift in your energy, this rethinking. I'm not really feeling a sense of urgency. It's more of seriousness, more like, okay, if I don't get this stuff done in my life, nobody else can. So it's time to focus. I feel like this is where you're at. I feel like you can be derailed easily. So you're still in the beginning stage of this working on you, working towards what the solution's going to be, because I feel like you're not really sure what it is yet, but you're working on it. Let's see, what else can I get for you, Sag? Sometimes I like to write. It helps. It helps the energy come through a little bit. Okay, I heard feeling purpose. Like you need a sense of purpose. Needing to feel or have a sense of purpose.
Yep, the Nine of Cups. Absolutely. A sense of purpose and emotional fulfillment with themselves.
Yeah. Yeah, with themselves and with people around them. I feel like they're really questioning. You know, Sag, I feel like you're really looking backwards in a way in this search for your new self. You're looking for a new self. Like they're showing me changing an outfit, but the outfit is kind of like you getting ready to present the new you. I feel like you've been humbled. You know, they took me back to a reading that I did a while back, and Sagittarius was in this reading. Sagittarius was climbing down off of this pedestal for a short period. And it was to do some inner work, some reflection, and then they could get back up on their pedestal. And that was quite a few months ago that I did that reading, and they just showed me that. So I feel like this is you understanding now why you came down off the pedestal, and you're changing. And they're showing me in the way like changing clothes, changing an outfit, but this is really changing these traits and preparing yourself to get back up on this pedestal, to get back up on your throne, you know, to where you belong. But you needed to come down for a little while to find this balance. You were kind of humbled in a way. I feel like you've been humbled. I feel like Sagittarius has eaten a big slice of humble pie, seeing people for who they really are, seeing you for who you have been. I feel like a lot of inner work, doing a lot of inner work, but this is a good thing. It feels comfortable. I don't feel uncomfortable with Sagittarius's energy. It doesn't feel uncomfortable to me. It feels like you're starting to come into your own truth, your own power, your own sense of being, like who you are, who you were meant to be. I feel like you're going to start opening up to a more spiritual based path, taking other feelings into consideration, taking your own like really being concerned about where you're heading. It's kind of like there's this like it's kind of, okay, they're saying game time, you know, so it's kind of like you've had the training, you've done the work, so now you're being put back into the game. Like, okay, I'm here, I'm ready for the world, I'm ready for this new cycle, I'm ready for this new way of being. I'm done with, you know, how things were, whatever they may be. Because I really don't feel anything negative coming off of Sagittarius, just change being needed. Because, you know, I like Sagittarius. I think they're a pretty happy-go-lucky sign, so that's not negative to me. If other people are being hurt along the way, I don't feel like it's intentional. So I can't associate it to anything negative, but just things that were not working out for your highest good. They're changing. So, and that's what I'm picking up for Sagittarius. You're a really fun sign, you know, clumsy at times. Probably one of the most clumsiest signs, but you're kind of like the pixies of the zodiac to me, you know, like the Tinkerbells of the zodiac. You just want to sprinkle your fairy dust on people and everybody live happy and carefree. And I love that about that sign. That's one of the traits I wish I had, you know. If I could have any trait from any sign, that would be it. I love that about Sag. Okay. And these are the two cards that just came out. Balance, which resonates very much so with the Temperance card. And healing begins. So you're doing the work. You're starting it. Opening up the curtain, you know, ready to get in the show, ready to get on board, play the game. Yeah, so it feels good though, Sag. It does. Let me see if I'll pull one more card for you. Flow. Go with the flow. You're doing good. I don't know which way to turn these cards. Okay. Go with the flow. You've got spirit behind you, protecting you. It's a very calm energy. This feels very calm to me. And so I feel like you're doing the work and you're just flowing with it. I don't feel any anxiety off of it. It's just a change that needs to happen, and you're doing it. You're like a willing participant in this. So that's pretty awesome, Sag. All right, Mark, what do you got?
All right, Sag. What I find interesting here is for one of your base cards, got the Ten of Cups reversed. When I see this, my my interpretation, I guess you can say, like, it's maybe my own interpretation per se, is not having emotional fulfillment or satisfaction with another person. But at the bottom of the deck, you have the Nine of Cups upright. And this, for me, is emotional satisfaction with yourself. So when I'm looking at your spread here, you could be dealing with an Aquarius. You could maybe be dealing with Virgo, Taurus, or Capricorn, possibly. Again, I think you're like the third sign that got the Two of Swords reversed, or the second or third sign. A lot of signs are getting the Two of Swords reversed. And when I see the Two of Swords reversed, it's all, dependent upon the surrounding cards. But I really feel like with the Two of Swords reversed, it's stuck between a rock and a hard place. And I'm really feeling also like you really want clarity, Sag. You're really seeking understanding. And I feel as though that when you reach this clarity, Sag, once it comes, I feel as though you may work on it. And when I say may, I'm kind of saying that with the intent of relating to you that it may be a slow process. It may not be something that is at your speed or upon your time. And I'm really picking up spirit here. I'm really picking up God here. I'm really picking up it's going to be on God's time. It's going to be on spirit's time. And I know that's not a very favorable thing to hear, because we all want it to be on our time, or whenever we feel like we put a certain amount of effort in, we expect a certain amount of effort, or a certain amount of either effort from another person, or a certain amount of contingency, that comes from it. But sometimes, we can't have expectations like that, especially when it comes to making ourselves happy, especially when it comes to finding who we are and what we need and what we require. It's a journey. It's always going to be. It's never going to end, because, Sag, we can't plan our happiness. It's impossible to do so. If we can maintain the happiness, that's cool. That's the goal, and it's possible. But going back to this clarity with the Ace of Swords here, this is clarity, and I'm glad to see it upright, because when I saw it, I was like, oh, let's not let it be in reverse, but it's upright, so that's good. And why I was saying, or why I mentioned, you may work on it once you get the clarity, is because my corner of my kitchen here just cracked, and when I get that, that's my message for spirits here. So they're always here, but they want to be known that whatever's going on here, whatever needs to be said, it's for someone, or it's for the collective. It's the collective energy. Whenever I do my general readings and generalships, I hear that all the time. But yeah, they're here. Great. Wonderful. The reason why I said that you maybe will work on it is because we have the Daughter of Pentacles here. This is also the Page of Pentacles. This is a very slow energy. This is a very, almost on the borderline of stubborn energy. It's it's very vacillating energy. So it's going to happen upon their time. It's very slow. It's kind of in a sense where slow and steady wins the race a little bit, but he's in a race of his own in a sense. So when I see that with the Eight of Pentacles, you know, that kind of, and then the clarity here, kind of feel like, okay, thank you, Spirit. You're going to realize and hear things that you necessarily don't really want or that you didn't expect. And I feel as though that it's going to maybe put you in the position of between a rock and a hard place, between hitting an impasse, between, I feel like it's a dualistic meaning given too as well. But I feel like it's gonna put you in a position where you may run into an impasse. But I feel as though too that you're no longer going to be closed off, because I kind of feel like this impasse is then going to show you that there's that it's a direction to go in. But we have to remain hopeful. We have to remain vulnerable, because when we're not vulnerable, the universe decides for us what needs to happen. Because when we're not vulnerable appropriately and intermittently throughout our lives, we really don't know what we want and what we need, especially from other people, right? And I feel like through this vulnerability is when you're going to know, like I said, what to do with the Three of Wands. I feel like it's a very strange thing to say in terms of this impasse is going to push you into the right direction. It's going to give you direction. You're then going to know exactly what the next decision is. And I feel like you're going to reap the benefits or see the ships come in from this series of unfortunate but fortunate events. That even makes sense. That's what I'm kind of picking up on a little bit. And the Ace of Cups here, I'm kind of looking at this as a new beginning in terms of understanding yourself and understanding how your past and understanding how those deepest, darkest parts of you, when we tread those waters, which it's not fun, but when we do, we then know the direction that we need to go in. And I feel as though that this Two of Swords moment, like I said, is going to push you in the right direction, where you probably were fending that off, or you were not really wanting to do it. So you were kind of forced into it in a sense, but in a positive way. And I feel as though that you're going to work on this now once this culminates, when you realize this. But I feel, back to with the Page of Pentacles, that's going to be a slow thing. It's going to be a very slow process. It's not going to be something that's going to happen overnight. Given that you're a fire sign, Sag, you have a lot of spunk in you, and you want things to happen upon your time, which is okay. It's understandable, but sometimes when it comes to healing, it's not on our time usually. We have to be put in place in positions where we must look at ourselves within a certain light. We're not aware of some of the things that we do unless it's brought to our attention, and I feel like now it's being brought to your attention, and you're having to go through it alone. And I hate to say that, but I just got that right now from Spirit right now, that you're going to go through it in solitude. They said, don't say alone, say solitude. In solitude, because you're going to then learn and develop strength within yourself, and you're then going to see that you can do it on your own. It's possible. You don't need another person there to aid you within the process of healing, because you're going to do it on your own with the Nine of Cups here. And when we were talking about earlier in terms of Sagittarius being a sign of truth and finding your truth and, you know, finding the truth, it's interesting that the Ace of Swords came up, you know, clarity, the truth. It's basically what it is. It's the truth from the jump, from the get. And that's what you need to work on, is the truth. And it's going to happen just in a slow process. But I feel as though, too, that the other message that I'm kind of getting here is that what Spirit wants you to know is that it's going to happen slow, so that appreciation builds, Sagittarius. Because that's the number one thing. one thing my mother always said, and I always say it too, is, and I always tell it to my little cousins, you can be anything you want to be in this world. Just don't be ungrateful. And I'm not calling you ungrateful, but I'm saying when we're not appreciative, what's the exact opposite of that, or what's the next assumption of that person when they're not appreciative? They're ungrateful. And when we're ungrateful, people really don't want to be around us. So I'm not saying that you're ungrateful, but I'm saying that if we don't go through this process, it can maybe lead to that ungratefulness. There may be signs of it already kind of coming up, but it's all part of the truth. Because if you're the seeker of truth, you have to be able to handle the truth as well. Once again, I'm not calling you ungrateful, but I'm just saying that there's an element of it. You know, like for instance, Virgo is really, really, really critical. But Virgo needs to also accept that people are going to be critical of them, and they can't be upset at that. You know? Correct again, crazy. So yeah, Sag, I just feel like that's kind of what's going on with you for January. Remember, it's going to be slow, but just take it in stride, and it's all going to be worth it, because you're going to find those areas of your life that have been that you've been hiding, or that haven't been revealed yet. Because I always tell people, never hide who you truly are inside, because you never know who would really love that person, you know? Maybe you'll love that person? It's possible? Maybe. I think so. All right. That's it. All right. What do we have for the crabs?
Okay, Cancer. Let's see. Okay, I'm getting drawing a line. Like, I feel like you're drawing a line that you're not allowing somebody to cross anymore. You're saying, okay, no, you've hurt me like this too much in the past. You cannot hurt me like this any further. I'm drawing this line. Do not cross this line. If you cross this line, we're done. I'm done. That's how I feel with Cancer. Hold on. It seems like that's kind of like the main. I'm also hearing tired of being tired. You know, it's like that sick and tired of being sick and tired. Hang on, Cancer. I'm also getting love for Cancer too. Like, I don't know. I think this could be taken in different ways. I think there's some Cancers that are feeling lovable. They want more love in their life. Maybe feeling tired of not having it in the way that they want it. Like a lack of appreciation in some situations. But I feel like there's other Cancers who are interested in somebody else because of those feelings. Like, I feel like there are some Cancers, very few, who are in a committed relationship but are attracted to somebody else because they're not receiving the respect or the affection from their relationship. And it can, you know, it's kind of like they're doing this, is it worth it? I don't know if this is even worth it anymore, because I'm seeing, and and I think maybe saying an eye on somebody else is the wrong thing to say. I feel like you're looking at others and how they handle their emotional situations, how their love life is going, and kind of doing a comparison. Like, why am I tolerating this when there's that, like, I want what that is. Like, I can see the possibility in having that for myself, but I keep dealing with disrespect, hurt feelings, no regard to my emotion, and tired of hearing excuses about why it's okay, or maybe that you're just overreactive. Because I don't feel it. I feel like you can be, but I feel like the overreaction is coming from repeated emotions that you don't want ignored being ignored. I feel like there are concerns of there are emotional things that you go through that you try to discuss, or you try to explain to people. And Nine of Swords. And I feel like you're not getting the response that you've been wanting, and you're tired of not being heard, not being taken seriously. You're a very sensitive sign, so people tend to think that you overreact. And this thing that people think you're overreacting with, I mean, there could be a little drama attached to it. You could be a little bit dramatic in it, but what it is that you're trying to get across, you're having a hard time getting across. And now you're tired of trying to get this across to people. So you're drawing this line and you're saying, okay, if you can't respect my emotions in this, then I can't let you into my space any further, because it just hurts too much. And I feel like that's where you are. You don't want to hurt anymore. You don't want to feel that. And so even if it's not a physical move away from somebody, it's an energetic move. It's a energetic shift in your emotions, where you're going to be like, throw the towel in and you're like, okay, no more. Eight of Swords. Yeah, you're ready. You're so ready to like drop that and say, okay, I'm not going to invest emotionally any further in this. And you're ready to drop that baggage. You're ready to do it. But you stuck it out like a trooper, I'll tell you that. You definitely stuck it out. But let me see. And you're not crazy. You're not crazy. You're not. You're just highly sensitive. You're a very emotional sign. And so sometimes it's hard for people to take you seriously, because there's usually drama attached to the desire, of, we're going to lose. You're putting your sword in. You're putting your sword down, like you're standing your ground. The line in the sand, you see? Draw a line with the sword. That's how I looked at that. And you're going to speak your truth and stand your ground. Yeah, that makes sense. Meraki, am I saying that right? Move. See, it's kind of moving that energy, protecting your heart. You see how that energy is swirling around the heart? It's moving that energy to protect your heart. And I feel like this could be in a union. Ayushi? I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing it correctly. It's pretty though. Let me see. Cancer. One more time, we'll pick this up. Find balance. That's what you want. You want balance. You want fairness. I'm definitely hearing fairness. You don't think it's fair. Wait, my ears ringing. You don't think it's fair the way you've been treated, where your emotions haven't been taken seriously. You're feeling a little insignificant, or you were. I feel like you're coming back into your own power, though. You're not going to allow that to keep. Oh, you're welcome. Thank you. You're not going to allow that to keep affecting you. Open up. Yeah, see, you're going to open up to spirit. Let spirit in and let spirit help. And I feel like you're going to choose the direction. There's all these lines, you see? All these lines that you're not letting people cross. And if you look on the outsides of this, you see, like on the outsides, it's darker than in the center. You're trying to keep that light about you. And so you're not letting people cross these lines that, you know, you're coming into your own power. You really are. And that's good. You're not letting people have that much control over your emotions anymore. You're still an emotional sign. You always will be. But you're not allowing people to have the say, I guess, on... Or you're not allowing people to affect you emotionally in that way anymore. Like, you're understanding that your emotions really do hold a value. Your thoughts, ideas really holds value. Hi, Dominique. And so I feel like, yeah, observe. You're really using your intuition too. You're going off your intuition. You're paying attention. You're opening up to spirit. You're trusting spirit more. You're leaning on them more. Because you need it. You do. All right, Cancer. That's what I'm getting for you. So let's see what Mark's got.
All right, Cancer. I feel like things are slowing down. And it's not necessarily a bad thing right now. Normally, I don't really, I mean, I'm a Virgo, I don't really slow down. And Aries does not help either. But sometimes I view slowing down as, you know, stagnation or on its way to stagnation. But I feel, Cancer, that this slowing down it's a good thing. And I remember, Cancer, I don't rarely ever remember my general readings because they're your guys' messages. They're messages from spirit. I channel them in and they're not mine. So, I mean, to the point where I literally have to name the video right after I record it or I will forget what the whole video was about. Because they're not my messages. They're not meant for me, per se, you know? So that's why I don't really remember them. But I remember one precisely, I think it was November's, when I was telling you guys how you're incorporating some fire energy into your sign. And I feel as though that it's a good thing in terms of sticking up for yourself, in terms of having your own back, you know, and telling people no when it's no, in a sense, you know, and not being and being unapologetic when you can't do it. There's a difference between not wanting to do it and can't do it. And I'm feeling, Cancer, that, you know, with me saying this fire energy, the incorporation of it, that usually means go, 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 which is how it has been. But I feel like now it's slowing down a little bit, and this slowing down is going to be okay for now, because I feel like this slowing down is going to lead you to taking the time to really observe who you are, taking inventory of the people that are in your life, taking inventory of what the hell is really going on. And I feel like there's a release, Cancer. It's not a giving up, but it's a release of it's not really it's sort of a release of a burden, but it's more of a not wanting to fight for things that are unrealistic, that are unobtainable by you. You know, that just, you can't do it anymore. It's the release of that. So it's not really a giving up. It's admitting that, you know, it's okay if we falter sometimes. And it's okay. We're human. We're gonna falter at times. It happens. But don't look at this, Cancer, as being like a weakness or being a look at it. Spirit's wanting me to tell you, look at it as an opportunity to view, like I said, what's going on, but also take it as a time to really view your life in terms of how you grew up, the dynamics of your parents, and how it may have had an influence on you, how it has an influence on you, they want me to say, in terms of how you view yourself and also what you expect of other people. And I feel like when this happens, it's going to be somewhat of a painful process. It's not going to be easy. It's not, I mean, growing is not fun, but the end result is strength, you know? And I feel as though, too, that this is going to lead you out of feeling trapped in certain situations. Because we have the Eight of Swords reversed here. The Eight of Swords, when it's upright, it's the, you know, feeling trapped. But you're not really trapped. It's a perception of being trapped. But I feel like you took the blindfold off now, and you're now seeing that you're no longer trapped. But don't let that dim your light. That's what they're saying. Don't let that and still incorporate that fire energy, because I feel like there's still fire here. I mean, we have the Eight of Wands reversed. We have the Seven of Wands reversed. We have the Six of Wands reversed. You see, there's even a lot of wands here, Cancer. So I'm feeling as though, okay, wow, interesting. We even have the King of Cups here, which can be representative of Cancer. Maybe you could be dealing with the Virgo, since we have the Nine of Pentacles reversed. But when I see the Six of Wands reversed, we've discussed this. A lot of signs have got this as well, reversed, and even upright as well. It's the card of when, to me, it's when it's reversed like this. It means that people don't understand who you are. But I feel as though with the Eight of Swords reversed here, I feel like you're going to come out of being trapped, and you're going to have moments where you maybe don't understand yourself, and where you maybe see and say, who am I? I'm not used to this feeling of not knowing who I am or what's going on. And I still feel like this fire energy is being implemented within your sign. And I feel like with the King of Cups here, that it's going to come in time. It's going to come with being emotionally honest to yourself and with yourself. And those that are meant to stick around will, and those that aren't will fall by the wayside. But then that's how you know who's really there and who's really not. At the bottom of the deck, you got the Nine of Swords here. Ruminating thoughts, beating yourself up. And with the Nine of Pentacles reversed here, kind of goes hand in hand in a sense of not emotionally, and also stability, not really fulfilling yourself, stability-wise, in terms of providing for yourself. But I feel as though that this is just some intermittent, this is an intermittency of it's not really confusion, it's an intermittency of a recourse, I feel. And with the Ace of Pentacles reversed here, kind of feel like this is no longer taking the offers in terms of not understanding who you are and now providing for yourself. Because this is really what's going to come out of it in the end, I really feel. So don't feel debilitated when things, like I said, slow down, like the Eight of Wands reversed. But it's meant to slow down right now. It's to show you something. Given the Mercury retrograde, time to slow down and go back and to revisit and to see what the hell's going on and who's in your life and what's going on. But you're still going to be the same old Cancer in terms of like caring and all of the family oriented, being, you know, those classical interpretations or aspects as to who Cancer really is. But when you come out of this feeling of being trapped, Cancer, it's like a you're gonna come out of, you're gonna stop playing the victim. And I hate to say that because that sounds so cruel, but in a sense where that's the Eight of Swords upright. It's feeling like you're the victim, like, you know, and it's like, oh my God, poor me, you know. I mean, in Spanish they say pobre mí. Now, pobre means you're crying about things. But when it's reversed, like I said, you're gonna come out of that period. And I still feel, Cancer, that this is a journey, and this fire energy, I'm still gonna stand by that. And I remember when I recorded that, I got that specific message, like that's what's happening here, and I'm convinced that that's really what it is. I mean, Spirit's never wrong, so that's what's going on here. You're gonna come back to that understanding of who you are. It's just there's steps to it, you know. When we can no longer change the situation, we're then challenged to change ourselves. And I feel like this is what it is. You're shifting into an understanding of who you are, and it's going to take some time. But don't feel like you're completely lost in terms of who you are, because it's still there. It's just you're redrawing your boundary lines, I feel. Okay, my guys want me to pop out some cards. Okay, that one flew out. Okay. Anything else that you like to reveal to Cancer? What else do you like? Okay. Yep, there it is. Okay. So the first card that popped out, the Magician. Of course, Cancer. Doing things behind the scenes, but not really telling anyone about it, but not in a secretive manner. It's doing what's necessary for you. The Magician has all the tools necessary. You know, he has the wand, he has the pentacle, he has the cup, he has everything to change and to manifest what he wants and what he or she desires. The High Priestess reversed, like Kim was saying, use your intuition. And I feel like when you maybe don't understand yourself, or you feel like there's those moments of not understanding yourself, don't lose that intuition, Cancer, because you're very intuitive, highly intuitive. One of the most intuitive signs. And then the last card that popped out, Cancer, I mean, could be dealing maybe with Sagittarius, but I don't feel like that's really what's going on here. If it is for you, okay, but Temperance here. Moderation. Things come in time. It's also, Temperance is also the card of healing. Healing yourself. Looking to your guides, looking to God, looking to Spirit, looking to who or whatever it is that you can fight in to give you the answers to heal. And I feel like it may seem like it's a little bit of uncertainty right now, but it's going to come. And when it does, you know, you're going to be like, whew, shit, I got through that one. Like, you know what I mean? That kind of thing, but you're going to be a bigger and stronger person. You're going to get along with people. The Three of Cups here again. Right now, that may not seem like it's going on right now because, like I said in the November reading, where your energy is shifting, people don't know how to react to you. Back to the Six of Wands reverse too. People maybe don't understand what's going on with you as well. But it's just you're adopting independence. You're adopting free will. You're adopting the right to say no. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. All right, Cancer. I feel like this is the most important card here. Temperance is, it's just the healing. It's you know, it's a process. But when it comes, it's going to be great. All right. So, Kim, you're a Scorpio ascendant. What's going on with Scorpiolo?
Well, I can tell you that the Scorpio ascendant has to step away for 1 minute because I'm gonna explode. I need to use the restroom. So if you want to just kind
Go ahead. Yeah, go for it.
Thanks. Sorry, I'm getting old.
All right. Okay, guys. Who's in here in this chat? Do you guys have any Scorpio within your chart, even if you have a placement? I mean, if you have a trine, if you have a sextile, if you have, I don't know if you guys understand those astrological, that jargon, you know. But do you guys have any Scorpio in your chart? I know that I have, I don't have it in my immediate chart in terms of like my sun, moon, or rising, but I have a lot of Scorpio in terms of Pluto placements. It's the same thing. And I have like trines to Neptune. I have a trine to my Mercury. I have a trine to my, sextile to my Sun, sextile to my Mercury, sextile to Jupiter, I believe, and also sextile to, where else? It's kind of hard to remember your whole entire chart. Yeah, I have a lot of sextiles with Pluto. So, I mean, I have a lot of Pluto influences. I understand Scorpio. I understand them a lot. And sometimes the Scorpio readings resonate with me since it has a lot to do with it hits a lot of my home planets as well. All right, you're good, Kim?
I didn't even realize I didn't shut my mic off.
It's okay.
Sorry. Okay.
All right, what do you got for Scorpiolo?
Okay, Scorpio. You know, it's funny. Scorpio came out of like this shell where they started opening back up to people, letting themselves be a little bit more vulnerable. But I feel like they're kind of going back into that shell. It's like you started opening up emotionally, allowing some people back into your space. And I feel like, not all Scorpios, but I feel like some Scorpios are just saying, okay, I tried it. I didn't like it. I don't want to deal with it again. Don't want to do it again. And Scorpios are very intuitive too. They see people's true intentions. They really see right through people. You know, people can try to pull the wool over Scorpio's eyes if they want to, but good luck. They can't. And I feel like Scorpio's kind of like, okay, do I really want to keep dealing with people that keep trying to pull the wool over my eyes? Or shut them out? You know, I kind of feel like Scorpio has a lot going on, but they're just keeping it to themselves. You know, kind of going inward. But I'm seeing like just exhaustion with them. Just tired. kind of fading in and out. Hang on. You know, you're a pretty resilient sign. You know, Scorpios can take a beating and keep on ticking. You're pretty resilient. And I feel like there's some Scorpios who are just tarnished from old hurts. Just holding on to it right now and trying to really come out of it. I feel Scorpio's feeling maybe a little disconnected. But I feel like you're trying to come out of that too. You're trying to, you know, it's like I can see this inner work coming up, you know, going on. I can see it going on. I can see this inner turmoil where it's kind of like you're saying, okay, I don't like these things that have been done to me, but what role did I play in it? How did I contribute? How can I stop contributing? How can I pull away from something when it's so hard for me to let go? How can I be strong enough in that? But I feel like it's like this slow journey back to what was fun at one point, because I feel like the luster for life kind of disappeared a little bit. And I'm not so sure you'll actually rebuild the same trust you once had maybe in somebody, but it's kind of like let bygones be bygones, if that makes sense. I feel really scattered. I don't even know if this is making sense. I don't know if this is because this is what's going on with you or what, but maybe a little disconnected.
Hey, you know what's crazy, Kim, was when you said let bygones be bygones, I was looking at my spread here and I was like, the bottom here, I was looking at it and I was like, yeah, they're moving forward with accepting what they can't change and just letting it be. And that's when you literally just said bygones be bygones. I was like, whoa, that's crazy. Like we both said exactly the same thing. That was crazy.
Huh. I'm glad you said that because it's a very subtle, like I feel very it's like okay. I feel like this is what's going on with Scorpio, but it wasn't easy. It's not easy for them to do because like as I'm trying to do this reading, I'm feeling the struggle. Like I'm struggling with trying to pull this information out, which I really feel like I mean, I'm sure you can see the difference in this particular reading in comparison to the other messages that I was receiving. I'm really trying to pull this out. I feel like it feels kind of scattered. The information feels scattered. I feel kind of flighty. I don't feel very grounded. I feel like, so I feel like this is associated with Scorpio somehow. It's very strange how I feel right now. It doesn't feel heavy, which I feel like that's what was going on with Scorpio for a while. Some heavy stuff, pretty heavy. I do feel like this. Yeah, hold on. Well, you got control. Dreams coming true. Sadness and isolation. Okay, so you know, it's really foggy. Really. It's really foggy the way I feel. I don't feel myself, if that makes sense. So I kind of feel like, yeah, very disconnected. Totally disconnected. And you see with this metal hat over this person's head, it's almost as if they're not even aware of spirit behind them. And they're right there, you know? I mean, you can't miss that. And it's like they're not even focused on that. So I think your thoughts have a lot to do with that. And so it's asking, you know, to control your thoughts. With the dreams coming true, you know, I really feel like, you know, it's like this guy's got the universe in his hands, you know. And I feel like you can't even see that. I feel like it's hard to see how much power you have. But you're going to come up out of that. So you've gone through this period, the sadness and isolation. You've gone through that, cut everybody off. You started opening up. And I feel like you're coming back into this protective mode and kind of isolating yourself. But not for long, though. Not for long. You see, there's already, you can see the transition. You can see the transition in this card, you see. So it's not going to be for long. And I feel like you've already started doing that, but you're really thinking things through, probably more so than you have in the past. Really thinking. You know, it's like, this is so weird for me. Healing begins. You're ready. I mean, Scorpio's been needing to heal. And you know, it's so funny. I look at this card, and if you look at the bottom, you see this? I mean, it's totally not where the heart chakra is. It's up here. But Oh, wow. She's got another light there. But if you look in both that bottom green hue that's here, plus the one that she's got around her neck. Wow, she's even got them hanging from her ears too. I've never noticed that. But that's that green light. That's the heart chakra. So this definitely speaks volumes when it comes to like the heart, you know, dreams coming true. Finally moving past emotional situations. Let bygones be bygones. Finally letting things go, not holding on so tightly. Because I feel like there are some Scorpios that have just held on to a really outdated emotion. Something really outdated. Because Scorpios are very emotional. And sometimes they can't wrap their head around other people who are heartless. You know, if other people are heartless, you know, there's a lot of Scorpios that have a hard time wrapping their head around that because they're super sensitive. And if you've hurt a Scorpio, it's very hard for them to forget and let it go and to move past it. And I feel like this is what they're being forced to do right now. Spirit is kind of bringing this out of them. Let me see, Jennifer, what did you say? Yeah, it's a very scattered energy, Jennifer. It's like really, it's a very numb feeling. It's very weird. This is very similar. The way this feels is very similar to the Leo reading we just did. The energy surrounding this is very similar to that. Yeah, that's what I'm picking up for Scorpio. But I'm not really getting much else. Plus, I mean, it's 5 o'clock in the morning here. And I feel like I'm just, like my brain is just saying, okay, shut down, shut down. You're supposed to be in bed. So it's kind of like, I think it's like a mixture between that and like Scorpio's energy. But this energy feels very familiar, very much. It's very similar to the Leo energy, the way this feels. But I think there he is. Okay. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Scorpiolo. The Two of Swords reversed again. I just left a comment in the chat. I have 12 different decks here, and I have not used a deck more than once. And I was instructed to use 12, and I was like, that's a little zealous, right? And my guides were like, no, just do it. I was like, okay, cool, whatever. And this card keeps coming out for a lot of signs. And when same cards pop out, and they're all different decks, I mean, that speaks volumes as to what's going on a little bit. There's a lot of signs that are kind of going through similar things, but I feel as though that there are similar there's similar themes kind of going on. I feel like there's a big sense of release. There's a big sense of letting go of attachments that no longer serve us, or that are just debilitating, that are just eating us away, or eating at us, I should say. But I feel, Scorpio, that there are ideas, there are new ventures that you plan on going on or starting. And I feel as though you're starting to feel like you're maybe not included in a lot of social circles, maybe because of them. Maybe you feel like you're not getting the support somewhere along the lines, I'm feeling. And I'm feeling as though that this not feeling belonged is somewhat of a karmic cycle. It's also revisiting the past and staying in the past a little bit too much. And I'm also feeling like revisiting the past. It's okay. It's there to revisit, but it's not there to dwell on. You know, you may not be where you want to be, and you may have made some mistakes in the past, but what does that have to do with your future? That's why we shouldn't stay in the past, because we should learn from it. But the past, we can't change it. Past is, you know, it's history. That's basically what it is. I mean, and I feel as though that with these new ideas or this new way of this new creative venture in terms of how you approach situations, in terms of how you, okay, I feel like it's a switch of a mindset in terms of acceptance of certain things, but now it's a way of switching the mindset in terms of how you approach things. Maybe stopping yourself from acting upon certain instances that maybe have led you to regret in the past. Kind of going down that road a little bit. And I feel like it's a new way of, like I said, a new way of thinking. So therefore, when we change the thinking, we change the reaction, we change the behavior. You know, it's kind of like being a CBT, a cognitive behavioral therapist in a sense, because I have a psychology background, and we need to change the way that we think. When we change the way that we think, everything else in tandem kind of falls into place in terms of how we approach things, how we behave, how we respond when we change the thinking pattern. And I feel like this new pattern or this new way of thinking, it's favorable. And I feel as though that it's time to now move forward. But there's still this element of being in the past. There's something going on in the past where I don't know why I'm picking up on unfinished business. I don't know why that's kind of coming to me a little bit in terms of but that's the karmic cycle. You know, the wheel reversed here with the Six of Cups. I mean, the Six of Cups is, when it's upright, it's not really about being maybe too much stuck in the past, but it is about revisiting the past. But sometimes I look at the Six of Cups when it's upright, if it's with a card like the wheel reversed, that's when I say, okay, the past isn't great. There's a dwelling within the past, because you know this card wouldn't be here to support it. And for those two cards are clarifying the Five of Pentacles or Five of Coins reversed. And I was instructed to clarify this card, and I was like, I'm not getting the whole story here. I was saying initially, and then I was instructed, well, clarify what you don't understand. And I said, well, what don't I understand? And they said, well, look in the corner. And I said, okay. And it was this way. So it makes a lot of sense where the Five of Pentacles is reversed is not feeling left out, or coming up with an inner strength that kind of prevents you from feeling like that. So it's a good card when it's reversed. It's not very unfavorable, but we feel like we are no longer left out because we have gained some confidence in ourselves, but we're still stuck in the past of being left out. See, that's what I'm kind of saying. It's a very interesting way of kind of concluding, but I feel like you're trying to work through it, like you were saying, Kim, like trying to work through things and trying to overcome certain obstacles. And you could be dealing maybe with a Cancer, also maybe a Libra, but we have the Chariot here, so moving forward, of course. And when I spoke him, when you were speaking about letting bygones be being bygones, it's kind of like with the Chariot here and then the Four of Wands reversed and the Three of Swords reversed. I looked at this and I was like, okay, why are we coming out of heartbreak or out of sadness when we don't feel like we have the first layer of foundation? But then when I saw it with the Chariot upright, I kind of concluded, oh, we're moving forward with acceptance of what we can change and what we cannot change. And it's taking, like I said, the good with the bad. I always say that when I see the Chariot because that's exactly what it is. I mean, look at the card. The white horse and the brown horse. It's moving forward with the good and the bad, the light and the dark. You know, Scorpio, and it's all about you're after Libra, right? And shockingly enough, I mean Libra right there. You're after Libra, right? So Libra took on the lighthearted, I guess, energy. And then Scorpio took on the dark, the occult, the mysterious energies, right? And I feel as though that that's exactly what this is. The brown horse here is the dark, the light horse is the light, the white, right? The purity and the sordid in a sense. I'm not calling you sordid, I'm just saying. But I feel like things are changing now because you are accepting what is going on and what you can change and what you cannot. And I feel as though at the bottom of the deck, the Nine of Cups here, the Knight of Cups here, which is pretty good. This is working on your emotions. This is seeing what's going on, how we're going to get there, how do they affect me, how do they affect my environment, how do they affect my decision making. Remember what I said about the decision making with the Ace of Wands, where I said I feel like you guys are working on thinking things through in a different manner. But this is worrying me, Scorpio, a little bit. Being stuck in the past a little bit. It's a karmic cycle that needs to be broken. And now I'm not saying that, you can completely escape the past. Of course not. That's why it's there. It's there for us to, like I said, to go over, to revisit. But there's an element of staying there. There's a rumination of staying there. And it prevents this from happening a little bit faster, a little bit sooner. But it's coming. I want to give advice. Sorry, Spirit and advice to Scorpio. These water signs needed some extra cards here. It's crazy. So we have the Moon card here. It could be dealing maybe with the Pisces. The Hermit. That's where I was going next. Could be dealing with a Virgo. And Judgment upright. A lot of signs are getting Judgment as well, but you got it upright. So I feel as though when I see Judgment, I look at these two cards and I say, which one are we going to do? Which one are we going to follow? Which one are we going to move forward with? With the deception and the lies and the things that are kind of going on and the uncertainty? Or are we going to move forward with enlightenment and moving forward and finding new ways of expressing yourself and finding new patterns of thinking? I believe that you're going to move forward, Scorpio, with the Hermit energy here. I feel as though. Because the Chariot's here. So I'm glad to see that. But I feel like this is confirmation, in a sense. This is affirmation a little bit of how far you've come. Yeah. And I feel like Judgment is here because it's here to remind you, be careful what's going on. In terms of what you pick, because I feel like the Moon card is connected a little bit to, people who have hurt you in the past, people who have done you wrong. But now it's time to gain the enlightenment, right here, gain the enlightenment and move forward now. See, like there's a lot of blue in these cards. They go hand in hand. It's time to move forward now. No more being stuck in the past. Because that's what's holding you back, really. That's what's really going on. It's holding you back here. Okay, I think that's it. Yeah. Okay. What do you have for Pisces? The double fish.
Hey, well, how do you feel about picking up tonight, doing the rest tonight?
Sorry. It's up to you. Whatever you want to do. You want to continue on tonight, or
Yeah, because the boys are going to be getting up soon. I got to get them
Oh
ready
yeah, I
for
forgot.
school.
You're 3 hours ahead. That's right. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay, guys. We'll finish this off tomorrow. It was a little longer than we expected, per usual. But you know, you can't put a time limit on spirit here. But right. Okay, guys. We'll finish tomorrow with Pisces, Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. All right, guys. I hope you enjoyed what we had for you today. But yeah, we will be back here tomorrow for sure. I'm not really sure what time. I'll try and tip you guys off at least a little bit early. Make sure to join Kim's Facebook page and also mine, and check out Kim's store as well. There's a lot of great stuff on there. And also, yeah, join our Facebook pages, and we'll keep you guys updated. Okay. Um, I'm gonna add the links and the timestamps and all that later on to this video. But if you would like to join my Facebook and Kim's as well, you can find it on her page, and also on the link to my Facebook directly is on any of the general videos that I upload. It's there in the description box. Okay, guys. All right, we'll let you go. Hope you guys heard some things that you needed to hear today, and some things that maybe you didn't want to hear, but it's all in good faith, and it's all meant to heal and to help us move forward. Okay. All right, guys. We'll see you.
All right. Thanks. I had a lot of fun, so.